Okay, let me start. Just want to show you my screen. All right, members, we are starting right now. Okay, hope you can see my screen. You can write in the comment section if you can see my screen because you're muted. Can you write in the comment? Can you see my screen? Write in the comment. Write in the what? Write in the chat box that you can see my screen so I can start. Smile, can you see my screen? And can you hear me clearly? Okay. Members, can you hear me? Anyone, can you hear me there? I want you to confirm so I can proceed. Type in the chat. Type in the chat. Type in the chat that you can hear me. Hello? Guys, can you hear me? Okay, so someone has confirmed. All right, then let's go straight into our today's business. Okay. Let's go straight into our today's business. Hello and how are you? My name is Muhindo Mubarak and I welcome you to our very first lecture of creating a complete multi-vendor e-commerce web system. The system will have the admin panel whereby the administrator will be using to manage his platform or their platform, and we shall have a mobile application where the mobile application will be used for the vendors to post their products as well as the customers to find their products on that platform and place orders, and the orders get delivered through the mobile application. And then we shall have the admin portal, and the admin portal will be used for managing the system, and then we shall have the website. So those are the three things that we're going to have in this system that we're going to create. So by the end of this system, or by the end of this series of videos that we're going to create, you should have enough knowledge that can help you to do almost every kind of a system that you may want to face. So it's not going to be an easy journey. So I want you to have all the commitment to watch and practice until we finish the whole journey. And I know some people are going to give up along the way, but I request you who is watching this video or who is part of this live session not to be among those ones who are going to give up, because at the end of this tutorial you'll have learned a lot of techniques that will help you to in your programming experience. I'm going to take you step by step, and I'll try to make sure that I explain everything so that you can understand. However, this tutorial is not for totally beginners, so you have to be at least at a certain level in order to cope up with that, because a lot of code that I'm going to share with you is going to be reusable, and some techniques, they will require at least you to have the basics of what you're going to be teaching. So if this is your first video and you have never programmed anything, still I have a relevant content that I'm going to show you that can help you to get started. If you're not a real beginner, let's say that you already know your basics of HTML and basics of PHP, still I have a place where I can get you started. And let's say that you already know PHP, but you don't know a technology like Laravel, still I'm going to show you a tutorial that can help you to get started. However, if you already know some basics of PHP and you just want to get started, still you can take it from here. So let's begin with our first scenario. Let's say that this is your first video, you have never practiced anything. So if this is your first video, this is what you're going to do. You'll just simply go to YouTube. I believe everyone here knows youtube.com. So go to YouTube and then search for my channel. It is called Learn It with Muhindo. So after searching for my channel, you click on this first channel that shows up. So when you click on this first channel that shows up, you'll go ahead and click on playlists. So in this playlist, you'll find there are different videos that are prepared for you at any level that you are, that can help you to get started with programming. So let's say that you have never programmed anything. There is this playlist called Web for Beginners. So this Web for Beginners will help you to learn. It has how many videos? It has 31 videos. This Web for Beginners will give you very good basics that will help you to learn beginning from totally zero. Now let's say that you already know basics, you already know HTML, you already know PHP and MySQL, you already know just basics of them, but you don't know Laravel. Still, I've prepared for you a tutorial here. It even has a project in it. There are 80 videos, 79 videos. In this tutorial, I'll teach you from zero how you can get started with Laravel. So there are 79 videos here. So these videos, I have 2 projects in them. So by the time you watch these videos and practice and finish them, you will be very powerful with Laravel. Let's say that you already know Laravel and you need to know just advanced techniques of how to create admin panels. There's another tutorial here. It has 41 videos. So in this tutorial, you'll be able to learn how to create how to create a web system without writing code or without any pain. But let's say that you already know Laravel and you just want to get started. Still, you don't need to watch all those videos. You can just start watching what I'm going to be doing and then learn until we finish and you have this more knowledge. You can be able to make any kind of money from programming based in Uganda here. Because right now there's a lot of jobs that need programmers. Only the programmers that are serious and talented are not there. So let's begin our journey straightforward. So that is just a basic introduction for where I can get started from. Now, I'm expecting you to already know basics of Laravel. If you don't know basics of Laravel, I've already shown you what to do. So if you know basics of Laravel, you know how to run Composer install, Composer then you can get started with this tutorial. Now, that is our timer. We shall always do 40 minutes every day. So we have started our timer. When it rings, we shall be done with our today's tutorial or with our today's lecture. Okay, let's begin. So in Islam, we say, Bismillah, let us start. So we are going to start with some code. If you want this code, I'm going to put the link in the description. I don't want to create everything from scratch. I want us to start somewhere. So I'm going to put the link of my repository in the description so that you can be able to get this code and start somewhere just like I've told you, without from 000. So you go to GitHub, put GitHub stroke Mobahood, or you can just simply go to github.com and then search Mobahood. Okay, go and search. This is my just AKA or my name that I use. Search Mobahood like this. So on the results, you'll be able to see my user account, this user account. So market link. So market link, it is the project that we shall be using for creating everything that we're going to be doing right now. So go ahead and click on this market link. So when you click on market link, it will take you to the project itself. Then after reaching on the project, I'm going to put also this link in the description of this video so that if you don't want to pass through that far, you can just simply click on that link and then you'll be able to download this project. So after reaching there, just simply come here to where there is the word code and then click on download zip. So by doing so, you're going to get the basics of the code that you're going to begin with. So you wait for a few seconds depending on your internet speed. So my internet is a bit slow. So here it is downloading. Let me download it. This thing is disturbing. Let me stop. So I said download. So when I say download, it will go ahead and download for me this repository. So it'll go to where this repository is and then unzip it. So when you unzip it, it will create for you a folder called market link web main. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this folder and put it in my htdocs. So if I speak htdocs and your WAMP or MAMP, you know what I mean. So htdocs is the folder where in your WAMP. So right now you should be knowing what is meant by WAMP or MAMP or XAMPP. Okay, so htdocs is the folder where you put your projects, okay, in your XAMPP. So I'll copy this folder and then come to my htdocs, which is here, and then come to, just first delete what I already had here. Okay, so come here and then I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so I'll come here and I paste it in this folder htdocs. Okay, so I've pasted the code that I've just downloaded. Okay, so it is, I've just called it market link web pro. Okay, so after doing so, this will come with a lot of code. Among the code that will come with, it will come with what? With the database. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set up the database and how to set up everything. So after downloading this code, go ahead and open your Visual Studio Code. At this point, you should be knowing what's meant by Visual Studio Code. So this is my Visual Studio Code. So I'm just going to drag and drop the other project in here. Okay, so let me go ahead and move. I've opened a lot of things, you'll forgive me. All right, so let me just go to Visual Studio Code. I've opened a lot of projects. Okay, so I'll just open a new instance of Visual Studio Code we're going to begin with. All right, so there we go. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to try to run the project. So you can run the project by running PHP artisan serve, or you can just simply run the project by doing localhost then stroke your project. So let me just simply come here and say localhost stroke market link web dash main. So you can see that my project is not working at this moment. So I'm running it because I placed it in the what? In my localhost. So let's go ahead and you can as well run PHP artisan serve. You know what is meant by PHP artisan serve at this point. So you can just simply open here a new terminal, and run PHP to install you're going to install the vendor files, or you're going to install the packages that we have in this project, because you see the packages folder is not there. So to do that, you just simply run composer like this, install. So open your terminal of this project, and then inside this project terminal, so you see I'm in this market link folder. So you know how to open terminal, just simply come here to terminal and then say new terminal, then you'll be able to have a terminal. Okay, so go ahead and run php artisan composer install. By doing so, it will go ahead and install for you the composer. So after doing so, I can go ahead and refresh. You can see now I'm getting the error 500. Okay, so if you're getting the error 500, it means that you have not added your .inf file. Your .inf file has not been added. So right now I'm going to add .inf file, so I can be able to do what? I can be able to start working with my project. So to add .inf file, just simply you can just copy this example of .inf file. You just copy it and then paste it. Then rename it, and remove this word example, so it can be just .inf as it is there. So by doing so, you'll have the .inf file. So this .inf file, when you refresh here, you should have some errors like these ones. Okay, so they say that we don't have a key, so we can generate a key by running this command. Okay, you can generate a key by running this command. So you can press on that and then the key will be generated. Okay, or you can just simply come here and run the command here, php artisan key and then the colon generate. So by doing so, it will generate for you the key. So this is just a key, this one here, that has been generated, that makes our project a little bit unique from all kind of projects. So that is it. That's all you need. Okay, now we have not linked our project to the database. Okay, but we need this project to be linked to the database, so that when we enter here the login information and submit, we should be able to log in, because right now there's no database that has been linked to this project. So let's go ahead and you run your database using php admin. You run your database using XAMPP, and then you go ahead. So you can see my exams already running. Okay, then you go ahead and create it and then import it. So I hope at this level what I'm speaking, you already know what it's meant. Otherwise, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you may need to watch those videos that I told you. So I'll assume that you already installed your XAMPP and it's already running. So if it's already running, let's go to our php admin. So at this moment, you should be able to know php admin. So I'll go to localhost / php admin, and then I'm going to put our a database called market link. But for me, I already have this database. Okay, this database. Okay, so you can just simply come and click on new and create a folder called a database called market link, or you can name it as you want. So for me, I already have this market link folder. All right, market link folder, this one here. Okay, so all what I need is to do what? All that I need is to import the database. So, and the database is already imported, but let me delete everything so you can see that I'm doing everything from zero. So I'll go ahead and select all the tables and then I drop them. So I'm going to show you how to import the database. Let's assume that you've created your database as I've shown you. So go ahead and click on market link. Then after doing so, go ahead and click on import, or you can just simply drag and drop it here, or go ahead and click on import. Then after doing so, go ahead and click on choose file. So I'm going to choose a file, and then I browse to where my project of market link is. So my project of market link is in downloads, and then as I told you, you'll find there what? An SQL file. Okay, an SQL file. Or is it SQL? Where is SQL file? It is here, marketlink.sql. It is here, you can see it. Then I'll go ahead and import this one, and then I say import. So to process, and then you'll see that all my tables were imported successfully. So that is how you import your basics tables. So at this moment, if I come here and refresh, I should be able to do what? To log in. But I cannot log in, or I cannot access my project. Why? Because I have not done what? Because I have not connected my project with I've not connected my project with my what? With the database. So let's go ahead and connect the project with the database. So to do so, I'll come to our database here. I'll come to .inf here. And then I come to where there is database. So the database is called market link. So you give the same name that you gave to the database here. It's the same name that you provide there. So I paste there database name, and then you put here the database username, and then you put here the password. For most of Windows things, you will not find here the password. You will not put there the password. Most of XAMPP or on Windows, you don't. The password is nothing for the default. So for me, I'm using Mac, and then find a socket link immediately here after the database if you're using the Mac. So if I come and refresh, now things should look awesome. So that is how you connect your database. So you just simply create the .inf file and then configure it just like I've told you. If you run it using PHP Arts and Serve, it is also okay. There is no problem with that. All right, so we proceed. We proceed. So after doing so, I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, so the default login of this project. However, I'll show you everything. I'll show you like how you control the whole project. Okay, but here you come here to admin users. This is where you're going to find all the tables of admin users. So just copy this username and then come and paste it here, and then password is 4321, and then click enter, then be able to log in. So there I've successfully logged in. So that is our project. Okay, that is our project. Now, so let me just take you through this project basics. Remember, we're going to as I told you, that this is a project that I was already built, most of it, so I don't need to repeat it. I want to reuse my code so we can come up with another something bigger that I want you to be part of, or that I want you to be able to do. That's why I've shared with you the source code of this particular project, so you can take it from there. So in this project, however, I'll explain things. Okay, I'll explain how everything works. So in this project, we're having here users. So these users is the users, as you know. We're having here companies. So as we are doing the project itself, we are registering different companies. Okay, then we are having here the system configuration that will have the company profile, the subcategory, and then the stock categories, employees, etc. Okay, so and here we have the stock items. Okay, so here in the stock items, it is where you'll find in the stock items, so you'll find the stock items themselves. Then here we have the stock records. These stock records, it is in case you want to manage the stock in and the stock out, the inventory. This is a place where you manage it from. Okay, now let us stick just back to the stock items. So in these stock items, there is a form that you fill to add a stock item, and here you'll go ahead and select the relevant category, and then you select the name of the product, and then select the image, and then you put the SKU if you want to track this product with your own code or with a separate code, and then you attach multiple photos if you want to. Okay, so I've already done this logic. I'm just going to explain how it is done. And then you put the buying price and the selling price, and then the original quantity, and then the description. So that is how you do what? You create a product. Whoever, you can go ahead and add here a product. For example, you can add here an image. Just show you. Let me just get here some image. For example, this image, can go ahead and add it there. So if I come and edit, you'll find that the image is there. So that is basically, that's what we're going to do. So now we have finished configuring the mobile app, the web system. So if you face some challenges, you can let me know, and you should not give up. So make sure that at least at this level, you're having this project set. Okay, you're having this project set. So what we're going to do right now is now to go to the vendor side. As I said, most of the logic will be done by the mobile application, since vendors will be uploading products using the mobile app. So we are going to face it and see how we do things using the mobile application. So I hope this level you haven't, faced a lot of challenges. However, if you have faced challenges, still you may try again until your project is running like this one. Okay, so let's proceed to another thing. So as I told you, we're going to have a mobile application for vendors, and the mobile application, it is where we are going to be using it. We shall be using for what? For managing users. For uploading products, as well as finding the product that already, customers browsing the product that we are selling, and also contacting us by the product that we are selling. Okay, so now what are we going to do right now? Let us go ahead and look at the mobile application. Okay, so I'll come and open the mobile app. I don't know whether it's even open. Let me first close everything that I've already opened here. So the mobile application, as I told you, it is reusable product. It's reusable code. So we're going to start somewhere, and I'm going to share with you the code of the mobile app, so that we can also start on the same page with me. Where is it anyway? Where is the project? Okay, it's the project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new repository and put this project there, and I show you how you download it, and we download it together and we run it together. So you shouldn't say that when I created the project, I did what? I skipped steps. Okay, let me go ahead and open this project. Okay, so I'm going to create a new repository. I had not created that one of mobile application. So I've already given you the link for the first repository. So let me create the second repository of the code, so you can be able to download the code. Okay, so I'll come here to my GitHub. Okay, so I can say publish that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do what? Let's go ahead and open the repository for the web, for the mobile app. So I'll come here and say create new repository. I'm going to call it market link mobile. So it's a mobile app, market link mobile app. Okay, I'm going to save it. All my mobile application, I saved them in this folder of GitHub. So I'm just creating a new repository. This is just GitHub, nothing else. There's no magic there. Then I go ahead and create the repository, so it is there. Can go ahead and publish the repository, and I make it public so that you can be able to access it. Okay, I publish the repository. There you go. So I'll wait for it to finish publishing, and then I'll go ahead and show this repository in the Finder. So you have here the repository, and then you have here the mobile application, I mean the code that you're going to reuse. So in this code, I'm just going to copy the most important code. So let me go ahead and select everything here, and then I'm going even to publish it, and then I'll download it afresh so you can know that I did not reuse the code that's already existing. So I'll go ahead and remove what I don't need. I don't need GitHub. I don't need the Android. I don't need build. Oh, sorry, I don't need build. Okay, so those folders, I don't need them. Okay, I don't need this JKS file. I don't need these credentials. I don't need those ones. I think these are the only ones that I need. I may not even need the idea. Yeah, I don't need the idea. And let me just take the idea for the sake of, yeah, so that's all I need. That's all I need. So I'll just go ahead and copy and then paste it here. Git attributes. Replace. All right, so there you go. Okay, there we go. So let me go ahead and make my commit. Let me go ahead and push, make sure that it is pushing. So wait for just 1 minute. Perfect. So it has pushed. So I can just simply right click and say open view in GitHub. So there is the code. So you have two things to download. The first thing is the code that I've just given you of the web, and the second one is this one of the mobile. So I'll put the link in the description. So you just need to come here to code and say download zip. So you'll also have the code for mobile. So now this mobile application that we're going to use, it is made in Flutter. Okay, so if you don't know Flutter, still I get you covered. You can come to my YouTube channel here, and then come to what is Flutter tutorials. This one, Flutter Bootcamp. So in this Flutter Bootcamp, there are 58 videos that you may need to practice in order to be on the same level where I need you to be. So once you finish those 58 videos, you'll be good. You'll be good to get started with what? With mobile application development, and even be on the same page with us. But for the sake of time, I'm going just to, in case you want to learn Flutter deeply, you just come and watch these videos. I'll take you step by step. So let's assume that you have now downloaded your mobile application code. So I have the zip, so you'll unzip it. And so I'll just simply come here. For some, you have already downloaded it. So I'll just simply come here and say show in Finder. So this is my code for the mobile app. So I'll assume that you've already set up your environment for Flutter. If you don't know how to set up the environment for Flutter, you can just come here on my YouTube channel and watch only one video here. Open this Flutter Bootcamp and then watch this first video, this introduction video. Okay, this introduction video. In this introduction video, I'll teach you how to set up your your platform for Flutter. Only that video. Okay, so now I've finished doing what? I've finished downloading the code. So I'll go ahead and open my Android Studio. Others use Visual Studio Code, but for me, I'm going to use Android Studio. So I'll go ahead and close all the projects, and then I'll go ahead and drag. You see, I'll go ahead and drag and drop in this folder in my Android Studio. So for the first time, it's going to take time to sync, but mine has already finished syncing. So all that I need is just to run the project. So I'll assume that you are on this level with me. Now, there are some challenges here. If your computer is not very powerful, you can really face challenges with debugging. So you can use the mobile app, the mobile phone to debug. If your computer is powerful, still you can use the what? The desktop app to debug. So I don't know which step should we take. I don't know whether I should use to debug from the mobile app directly, or we should be first publishing. We debug using the Postman, and then publish, and then use the mobile application to. I think that's the most effective way. However, for me, I always debug directly with the mobile app. But the best way, it will be like you first push online and then you pull this side. Okay, so I don't know which one is most effective. So now at this point, we have our computer there, and then the app is there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be debugging directly from the mobile phone. Okay, from the emulator, and I'm going to show you how you debug it. So you have this code. So let me go ahead and run it. So I'll go ahead and run here one of my emulator. So your computer should be powerful to cover the emulator. If it cannot debug using the emulator, then you can use the web. You can use the mobile phone. Okay, so let's proceed. So it will load. Go ahead, put the emulator here. So my emulator is there loading. There you go. Okay. So let's run the application. I think there's an error. Okay, so we'll have to run this in order to create. So open the terminal and run that command so you can create the Android folder. Let's try to run again. See if the Android folder is created. It was not created. What are they saying? I think we would have copied the Android folder as well, because it is not running with that Android folder. Okay, they're saying mobile market is invalid, that package name. So let's first close the project and rename. So they say they don't want something with a hyphen. So let's remove the hyphen. Then drag and drop it. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I have to run again this in terminal. Open terminal and run flutter create and then with a dot, so it can be able to generate for us the Android folder. Yes, the Android folder has been generated. Okay, the dependencies are being installed, so everything is now getting better. So let's be patient. Good. All right, so it has run, it has worked. Let's go ahead and delete this test folder. I don't need it. Refactor, delete test folder. Okay, so I've deleted it. All right, so let me go ahead and run my project. So I'll go ahead and click on run and see if it will work. So don't worry, for the first time things seem to be boring, but once we are set, you see things will be running. So let's wait until it finishes running. So it is processing. Let's wait just for 1 minute, like 2 minutes. For the first time it is a little bit slow. Okay, so as it is processing, so I'm going to show you a technique that we'll be using for debugging. I don't know whether it will work for you, but for me it works for me, and it is very powerful. So when we are doing mobile application or mobile systems, sometimes most of the time, almost all time, we need APIs. So creating an API, every time you do something, you may need to test it. Okay, you may need to test and see if it works, okay, before you publish it or you do other further steps. So you find it tricky when you want to connect to your local host using the what? Using the mobile application. So for me, what I do, I always first make sure that my project can run on local host, like this, by putting it in the localhost folder. So also first make sure that the project is running in the localhost, okay, like the web project, because the web project is the parent. So make sure it is running on the localhost. So after making sure that it is running the localhost, so to make sure that it's running on the localhost, of course, the Laravel project, you need to add there the .htt access on the root folder, and in the root folder, and put this .htt access. So .htt access should look like this. You can search it on internet, just search Laravel.htt access. Okay, if it just make sure that your Laravel project is running in your what? Is running in the htdocs, or is running on localhost. You can as well search on internet if it did not work, like if it should run on localhost without running PHP artisan serve, because of some reasons that I'm going to show you. So it works, it has to, because mine is already working. So it means that yours also has to work. Even for many people, it does work. So after making sure that your project is running on localhost without PHP artisan serve, most especially it is made possible by the use of this HT access, okay, and this is the file of HT access that you put in the root of your project. So the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to see how you can access your local host through emulator. So I'm going to give you the scenario when you're using emulator, and another scenario when you're using, okay, the application is there and it is working. Okay, it's there and it is working. So we're going to use it. All right, so another way, I mean, if you're using the emulator, so you must make sure that you can access your localhost on your emulator. Remember, emulator is on is an Android phone, but the localhost is on the other side of the XAMPP. So to do so, for me, I have an IP for accessing the localhost on my emulator. If you're using Mac, just come here and search access localhost on emulator and then say Mac. Okay, so when you click on access localhost on emulator Mac, then you'll be able to get an IP that you can use to access the localhost on your Mac. So if you're able to access the localhost on your Mac, it will make your work very, very easy, in a way that you can just test something directly without first publishing on internet, without using the postman, all those things. So on Mac, this is the most perfect answer, and they are saying this is the localhost on Mac. Okay, let's go ahead and test it. So to test it, now you see, now on my Mac, I use this port. Okay, I use this port. I don't just use plain localhost. I use this port of 888. Okay, so on my Mac, I can just simply, so this is the port that I use. So on my Mac, I can just simply, before I even go to the app, I just simply go and open my Chrome and then put there the port. Okay, so you see, look at the beauty. The beauty is you can be able to access your localhost on your Android emulator. Okay, you are able to access your localhost on your Android emulator. You see, all my projects on my localhost are here. So all that I need is just to access the project that I'm working, which is market link web main. So when I click on it, you see, I'm able to access everything there. So what does that mean? It means that we are able to even access our API without even directly to the application, because this is the phone and we're able to access it from here. So that is one powerful technique. Now, if you're using a phone, you can also search one for the window. So that is the IP for the Mac. So I'm just going to be using this one for testing. So if you're using the phone, if you're using Windows, so that is one for the Mac. You can just come here and put Windows. Okay, so I put on Windows, come to the first search result. It is almost the same. I think it is the same. All what you need, they say you can use this one, you can use the word localhost, you can use this. So that's for the Windows. You can use this. I think it's the most popular of 2.2, and then stroke your project. And there are some few things, in case it doesn't work, you can set it. This is how you set it. So it must work. It has to work. So if you're using a port, you can, this is where you set your port from. So find a way. You can even put this in your, but this is a long process. You can leave this one. So you have to find a way to make sure that you can access your project on on your emulator. Okay, so once you access your project emulator, what does it mean? It means that we are going just to be debugging directly to the Android phone, and once something works, we know it works. We don't need again to prove in any other way. Okay, so let's say that you do what? Let's say that you're using a phone. There is also a way how you can use a phone. So access localhost on a network. Search network, then say Windows. Okay. So if you're using a physical phone, you may need to check out this one. They say this is the IP that you can use to access the localhost on your Windows on network. So these phones must be connected to the same router. So you should be having at least a Wi-Fi router or you should be having an hotspot whereby you're hotspotting with your phone and your computer is connected to the same hotspot. So by doing like this, you should be able to access your localhost on your physical phone on the network. Okay, so that is how you do it. Okay, if I'm using you, so you have to make sure it works. Okay, you have to make sure it works. So let me try to see if there is one for Mac. So if it is the same, so there it is. Access localhost on Mac. Let's come to Stack Overflow. So there should be an IP for us. So Mac users, I see there is this one. I think it's almost the same. So there is this. Okay, there is this one. Okay, there is this one. So you can try all of them until it is working. Okay, you can try all of them until it is working. I think this is the working one. So you have to try. Okay, you have to try. Or they can say that you can run this. You can run this and they'll give you what is your IP on the network. So go ahead and open your terminal and then run this. Okay, then put your password. See, then they will give us our IP. Okay, they say that, okay, what did this one say? What did this one say? So run this and then edit the file as this. Okay, so you add this here. Okay, you add this. If I configure and chunk, okay, so I can just copy this and add this. I don't know whether I added it already. I think I added it some time back. Okay, yeah, so you see I added it here. So just add this number and then say localhost. Then you press and then you go ahead and save. So when you save, you'll be able to access this through the mobile phone. So you can be able to debug using the mobile app, using the mobile phone. Okay, so that is how. So you save by just pressing command and X. Okay, then you'll be able to do what? To save. But for me, I don't make it, that's why I not save. So by doing like that, you'll be able to access your localhost on your physical mobile phone. So you can do that for the Mac. Just make sure that it is working if you're using the mobile phone. If you're using if you're using just, let's say that should add here in hosts on Windows. If you're using on Windows, just make sure that that's what it does work. Like you can access that IP using your phone, using your phone or physical phone or what. For me, I'm going to be using emulator, and you can see I've successfully accessed my IP. So that is where we're going to start from tomorrow. So make sure that you download this code, make sure that it is running, make sure that you're able to access your local host on your emulator on your physical phone if it's what you're using. So that is where we're going to stop from today. So make sure that you practice. I'm going to upload these videos. Make sure that you practice. Make sure that you access the local host on your computer. Make sure, on your emulator. Make sure that the project is running. So tomorrow we can start doing the real business. So you can see for me, the project is running. I've already shown you how you can download the code. So tomorrow we can start with real business. So that's it for today, unless there's a question. Is there a question? I think there is no question. So I'll upload the videos and I'll share with you. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.